Hello and welcome to Gussets and Godets podcast, episode number 2. I'm Christina and this is my podcast about knitting, stitching and crafting of all sorts. So I'd just like to start today by saying thank you to anybody who watched my video last week and anyone who sent me a comment or a message. It was so kind of you. It was just really lovely that anyone reached out, and I was surprised and delighted. So thank you so much. It means a lot that you would take the time to say hi and to compliment me on my projects, because of course it takes such a long time and it's lovely to share. So I'd like to start with my knitting today. So I started a new project, which is a sock. It's just a vanilla sock. It's so pretty, and it's a Christmas sock. I've used some Giddy yarns, and this is their Christmas stocking colourway. Let me have a look at those. And they're so pretty. And they come, you don't get 100 grams, you get 70, so it's 50 grams of the main colour and then 20 of the mini, of the contrast. And I'm really worried I'm not going to have enough, and I didn't weigh it because I don't have any scales. But yeah, fingers crossed. It's really pretty. It's not as bright in the sock as I think it is in the skein, in the ball, which is fine, doesn't bother me, but just a remark. So that's my half object. I probably should have gone a little bit shorter with the leg. Well, never mind, we'll see what happens. So I did a 1x1 rib, 68 stitches and a couple of inches of, 5 inches of leg, fish lips kiss heel, foot and the toe from Hermione's Everyday Socks, which is always my vanilla sock pattern. Was a really, I did it really quickly. I took this away with me, and this was my train knitting when I went to Paris, and just fit in my bag. I kept pulling it out in cafes, which was super, super lovely. Okay, so that's my first work in progress. My second one is my scarf, which is for my little cousin. So I've really enjoyed knitting this. It's his Slytherin scarf, and I mean, it's not quite long enough. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I feel like I need another 3 or 4 stripes and then tassels, because, you know, why not? And that is 64 stitches, knit in the round on higher sharps, because those are the needles I always use, and these are the 4mm. Don't know how long the cord is. Anyway, I just chose the one that was the right circumference. That's a lot of fun. I do 32 rows on the grey and then 26 rows on the green. I'm just going to keep going. And then I'll just use a crochet hook to do the tassels and join the 2 layers together. And I was concerned last week that it was a little bit rough, but as I've been working on it, it's really softened up, and I'm going to block it and then that'll be soft too, so I'm not worried about that. But I've run out of yarn. So it's knit with Merino Blend DK, superwash wool, and the colours are Graphite and Bottle. socks, I used 2 of each, so I used 100 grams of each. So I think I'm going to buy at least 100 grams more, because the tassels as well as the length, and then I just think you need a matching hat. You can't just wear that, you need the full ensemble. Yeah, so I need to order some more, and I will. So that's all I've got left, is that little bit of green. So I used more of the grey than the green, so I've got that little bit left. Anyway, so that's a fun project. You don't have to think about it, which is so lovely. Okay. Oh, and I cast on a new project, which is the Selby Mittens by Skeindeer Knits. Here's a picture. I've never done mittens before, and I just thought they were really cool. I watched her podcast, and she'd said that they were really an easy beginners knit, and for learning how to do mittens. Yeah, there we go. So give them a try, and they're very addictive. So look at that. Oh, aren't they beautiful? 'Tis the season to be jolly, la 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 la, la la la. I did make a mistake along here, because I didn't do it on the front, but I did it on the back, a few of the stitches, so I just duplicate stitched them. You can't see at all. Yes. It's a bit snug. I did swatch, which of course I didn't swatch in colour work, because why would I waste the time when there's knitting to be done? Garments I always do, but I figured I'd do the cuff and see if it worked, and if it did I'd continue, if not that would be my swatch. So I've got lots of room in the hand, and it's a little bit snug across here, but I will block them, and they're like a second skin. I don't know if I'd want them baggier. They are coming along splendidly. Look at that, isn't it pretty? Gosh, I'm doing it. Palm and the thumb, use my thumb, like checkerboard. Oh, I just can't wait to finish them. So we've got, you know, a little bit more to do. But this took me, okay, in one evening I did I think 2 hours before bed, and I did this much. And then the following morning I did half the flower, and then kind of on my way to work and in my lunchtime and a tiny bit in the evening I did the rest. So that couple of hours worth of work. Considering I've never made a mitten, and I've never done such I think that's complicated. I've never done such complicated colour work. I've done one motif on a jumper, and it had a few diamonds here and a reindeer, but nothing like this. I think that's quite impressive. And the yarn I ordered from Norway. I got the little old bands here. So it's Rauma, Strikkengarn. Ordered one of each, and the colours, there we are. And I just I went to their Facebook page, and they had an email address, and they said that from the UK or from outside of Norway, you can email them and do PayPal them the money. So I did. I logged in on their website and had a look at the colours I wanted and the weights. So I ordered the Strikkengarn, I think that's 3 ply. Let's pretend I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I ordered these online. It seems like it's going to be plenty. They're very, very woolly, and I think most people would not want them around their neck. For mittens, perfect, and the colour work is coming out fantastic. It's sticking together beautifully, so Skeindeer, brilliant recommendation, Ellie. Really loving them, and her pattern is beautiful. It's so well written, you know, row by row, you know what you're doing. Super easy. Which, when you've not done something before, you want a row by row. I want a row by row instruction. I don't want a general suggestion. Yeah, love, 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 love these, and it's getting me very festive. Feeling very festive. Okay, and then you will have noticed my finished object of the week is my money honey turban. So I'm just going to kneel on the floor and go around, hoping I'm in shot. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, it's so cool. Absolutely love this. Yeah, so I just wear it as a hat, usually, with my hair down, and just whack it on top, and it matches my coat, which is also burgundy, so lots of matching. It was a really easy knit, especially compared to the angel face turban, which I've knitted already, which has the yarn overs, the holes, the lacy holes. This was just, I didn't even have to think about it so much. The only part that was difficult was this tie. You knot it, and then it gets stitched in. It gets bound off with a 3-needle bind off down the middle. So I was a little bit confused about tying that, but I just tied it a few times. I pinned it together to check that it worked, put it on, and it does. It's amazing. So this is the Money Honey Turban by Amy, Poison Girls. She designs very vintage inspired patterns, and she was doing a cowl, so I knit this one, put my pictures in the group, the Ravelry group, for the cowl, and I won a prize. I've never won a knitting prize before, and she gifted me a pattern. Yay! So I'm gonna have to think about how to knit, what to knit it in. It's the tongue-tied fitted t-shirt, the type of top you'd wear under a cardigan as a sweater set. So I might do that. I might do a matching 2-piece sweater set, but we will see. And I've been looking at that pattern for a while, so just have to choose the yarn. So that is that. And I wore this when I was in Paris, looking super chic. I did take lots of pictures when I was there, and I took some footage as well. So I think at the end I'll maybe do a little montage of my trip and of my make. So my turban, and then my suit as well, which is my next make. So it was this vintage pattern I showed you last week. Let's check it's focusing. Yeah. So I was worried I wouldn't finish it. It was a lot of work, but I did get it done. And here we go. Fitted suit jacket with the little cuffs, pockets, little collar. It's fully lined. And I so enjoyed wearing it. It's beautiful. It's very fitted. So I will get some video in at the end for you of me kind of pretending to be more fabulous than I am. But how can you not be fabulous in a fitted grey suit? The inspiration behind the suit was from the film Vertigo. Kim Novak wears this, it's not Peter Pan collar, it's it's a notched collar and it's lower, but she spends most of the film in this beautiful grey suit and she looks stunning. So that was my thought behind it. And then the film Carol, and Carol wears a grey suit with a coral scarf and she looks beautiful. And so had to make a grey suit, and to go with it I made a pencil skirt, and I didn't use the one from the pattern because I have my own block pencil skirt which I'll always use. It's from this book, which everyone must know by now. Gertie's new book for better sewing. It's quite old at this point and she's done a few books, and it's just her standard the pencil skirt. I just adapted it to my own shape. I think this has 2 darts in the front. I think I do 1 in the front and then I do 2 in the back, and that was nice. And sorry, I'm slapping things around. There's the skirt. I just added a centre front seam, but it's just a little pencil skirt with the back vent, all fully lined. Beautifully done, if I do say so myself. I do like to have things fully lined. And then I add something quite stiff into the waistband. I do a narrow waistband, 1 inch, because otherwise it starts rolling over. With the heat of your body and where you bend in the middle, it ends up folding, but this will always bounce back. So that was absolutely fantastic that I got that done. I knew I would get it done. I just didn't know how stressed I would be on the Eurostar on the way there, you know, finishing the last hand stitches, which has been known to happen. And I had some extra time, so I made a second pencil skirt in some plaid fabric. I get most of my fabrics from Goldhawk Road. The shop I use the most is Classic Textiles, so all this fabric was from there. And it's just the plaid pencil skirt, and I matched up the darts, the fabric, oh, matched up the sides and matched up the zip, and then I made sure that the hem all the way around was finished on the same stripe. And I did just the black lining again with my little vent. I've made so many pencil skirts from that pattern now, more than 5. So it's my most used pattern, and I have the construction method down now. It still takes me quite a while, because when you're lining, you're making 2 skirts, stitching them together, and the waistband is hand finished, the hem is hand finished, the inside of the zip I go round by hand. And I know a lot of those things I could do by machine. I enjoy doing it by hand. I enjoy finishing a project to the point where all you have left is the last finishing touches by hand. And I can sit down, put something on and maybe watch a podcast, just stitch away slowly until it's done. And that's maybe my favourite part, actually. So you're so close to finishing. They're both made, both skirts, from exactly the same pattern. This fits me nicely, very, very nicely. And the other one is slightly stiffer, the fabric, and it doesn't sit 100% smooth. It wants to move a little bit more because of the stiffness in the fabric. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it exactly as it is. But I just thought that was so interesting. It's exactly the same pattern. I cut them both out at the same time. I've measured them. They are exactly the same, but there's a difference. Who knows why? Well, I told you why, it was the fabric, but nothing I could do to change it. I could take in slightly on the sides, but I like to have enough room to sit down, move, Anyway, to go with my plaid skirt, I made the Butterick B6285, which is this wrap top. And I just made it in a little jersey. Still got my brooch on there from when I wore it. And then I'll see if I can insert pictures at the end, because I know can't really show you, but I thought this wrap top, which is a top, I know you can't see, but this wrap top with this pencil skirt would go so well, and they did. I don't know how I got that much sewing done. I have not done that much sewing in a long time. That was a stressful week. I don't know why I did that to myself, but I did. I did, and I got it done, and it was amazing. Okay, and the final thing, I think it's the final thing, I thought I would show you my little stash enhancement, because I want to do some Christmas socks. Some more Christmas socks, got a couple. So I ordered from Suffolk Socks online the West Yorkshire Spinners. I think this is called their Hollyberry. Was it their Hollyberry? Doesn't have the name on it, but there is the numbers, and that's the yarn. Kind of a striping. I think it's a self-striping. Anyway, it's pretty. I'm not too bothered what comes out, because I like the colours. And as I was on there, I did want to get their kind of candy cane looking one, but they'd run out. So I got something else, and I thought that was super cute. Very flamingo-y pinks. May have been called flamingo, may not have. But there's a number on that one. So they'll both be socks. I'll probably put this one away, maybe do Valentine's Day socks with these, and do these ones for Christmas. Yay! And then I ordered from Stray Cat Socks, and they're from New Zealand, and this is beautiful yarn, but also a lesson learned. So this is their self-striping in the Joyeux Noel. Is that? There we go. There's the colourway. There's the details. And the yarn. And then I ordered the contrast for the heels and toes. It's not quite that bright. There we go. That's a good representation. Oh, matches my lipstick. I love it. I'm really glad that I ordered it, but shipping from New Zealand was not cheap. The yarn was not cheap. You know, it's hand dyed. I'm happy to pay for that. The shipping is coming from a long way, of course, but then the duties. I think this must have cost me £50, which is ridiculous. But I'm not going to let it spoil the yarn for me, because it easily could. I'm just going to learn for next time and not order from far away unless I'm going to order a significant amount, I think, and then it's worth it. Not for one pair of socks, because that is an expensive pair of socks, but it will be socks. So there we go. I hope I haven't sped through everything too quickly today. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I gave you all the information that you needed, and if I didn't, I'll get it on the screen, because I can do that. Not so well, but I can. And I will hopefully insert some footage from Paris, from the Dior exhibition, which was lovely, very packed, very, very packed. And pushy, you know, getting squidged about, that was not so fun. but it was worth it because it was the fashion was just amazing. So I'm really glad that I went to see it. We went to take some beautiful pictures, and I did get a little bit of footage, so we will insert at the end. And thank you for watching. So till next time, see you soon.